Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Peg and Mel's latest date in Antigua turned out to be an unforgettable ride, quite literally. What started as a scenic adventure on ATVs quickly turned into one of the funniest, flirtiest, and most romantic moments of the Golden Bachelorette season. Fans couldn't stop laughing, swooning, and cheering as Peg showed a side of herself that was bold, fearless, and totally in control. Well, let's just say he had a little catching up to do. The date began under the golden Caribbean sun, with sparkling turquoise water glistening in the distance. Peg, dressed in her adventurous best, put on her helmet, gave Mel a mischievous grin, and said, "You ready to put the pedal to the metal?" Mel blinked, probably expecting a calm cruise through the tropical trails, but Peg had other plans. "I didn't come all the way to Antigua to drive slow," she teased. "Let's see what you got, Mr. Golden Bachelorette." Mel laughed, trying to play it cool. "Oh, I've got plenty. I just don't want to leave you in the dust." Peg smirked. "Please, you couldn't if you tried." And with that, she revved up her ATV and zoomed ahead, leaving Mel to scramble behind, laughing and shouting, "Hey, wait up!" It was the perfect mix of comedy and chemistry. Peg's energy was infectious. She was living her best life, kicking up dust and giggling as the cameras followed her. Meanwhile, Mel was doing his best to keep up, clearly impressed by her adventurous spirit. Halfway through the ride, Peg slowed down just enough for Mel to catch up. "Having trouble back there?" she called out playfully. Mel grinned, brushing dust off his shirt. "Not at all. I was just letting you think you're winning." "Think?" she laughed. "Sweetheart, I am winning." The banter between them was so natural, so effortless, that even the crew couldn't help smiling. These two had chemistry, not the over-the-top dramatic kind, but the kind that sneaks up on you and makes you grin from ear to ear. As they reached a scenic overlook, Peg parked her ATV and took off her helmet, shaking out her hair as the Caribbean breeze caught it. "Worth the ride, huh?" she asked, looking at the breathtaking ocean view below. Mel nodded, but his eyes weren't on the view. They were on her. "Yeah," he said softly. "Definitely worth it." Peg blushed, half laughing as she turned away. "You really know how to make a movement, don't you?" "I try," he said, still smiling. They sat down on a nearby rock, looking out at the sea. The sound of waves in the distance filled the silence, but it wasn't awkward. It was peaceful. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Peg broke it first, grinning. "So, be honest, you were terrified back there, weren't you?" Mel laughed. "Terrified? Maybe just moderately concerned for my safety." She chuckled. "You were gripping those handlebars like your life depended on it." "Well, when I'm riding next to someone as fearless as you, it's hard not to feel a little out of my league." That line got her. Peg smiled, shaking her head. "You're good, Mel. I'll give you that." As they talked more, the playful teasing shifted into something deeper. Peg admitted that she loved taking risks, not just on ATVs, but in life. "She thinks we spend too much time worrying about what could go wrong. Sometimes you just have to hit the gas and trust it'll be worth it." Mel nodded. "That's kind of like love, isn't it? You can't overthink it. You just have to go for it." Peg smiled, glancing at him. "So, what happens if we crash?" He grinned. "Then we laugh, dust ourselves off, and keep going." Their easy laughter and honesty made the whole moment feel like something straight out of a romantic comedy. Spontaneous, funny, and full of genuine emotion. A few moments later, Peg pointed to a nearby beach and said, "Race you down there?" "Again?" Mel laughed. "Haven't you proven your point?" "Maybe," she teased, "but I like winning." And before he could respond, she was off again, dust flying, laughter echoing behind her. Mel shook his head, started his ATV, and shouted, "You're impossible!" "You love it," she called back, her laughter blending with the hum of the engines. By the time they reached the beach, both of them were covered in sand and smiles. Peg jumped off her ATV and raised her arms in victory. "Told you I'd win." Mel caught his breath, laughing. "You're something else, Peg." She tilted her head playfully. You say that like it's a bad thing." "It's not," he said, still smiling. "It's exactly what I need." That line hung in the air, and for a brief moment everything felt still. Just the sound of the waves, the sun setting, and two people realizing they might have something real. Peg looked at him, a little softer now. "You really mean that?" "I do," he said. "You remind me what it's like to have fun again, to take chances." She smiled. "Good, because life's too short to drive slow." Mel laughed. "So, does that mean I passed your test?" Peg grinned. "Let's just say you didn't crash. That's a good start." He smiled, shaking his head. "You've got a wild heart, Peg." "And you've got patience," she said with a wink. "We might just balance each other out." As the sun dipped below the horizon, their conversation turned thoughtful. Peg shared how she'd always been independent, how it sometimes scared people away. "But I don't want to slow down just to make someone comfortable. I want someone who keeps up." Mel replied softly, "Then I better start practicing." Peg laughed. "You're already doing fine." It was the kind of chemistry that didn't need big gestures. No rose petals or candlelight dinners, just two people, covered in dust and sand, laughing like kids again. Later, when they sat by a small beach bonfire, Peg admitted that the day had surprised her. "I didn't expect to have this much fun. I thought you'd be too cautious." "Cautious? Me?" He raised an eyebrow. "Well, maybe just a little," she teased. "You seem like the type who reads the safety manual twice." He laughed. "Only because I want to live long enough to take you on another date." Peg smiled. "Smooth answer." They toasted marshmallows, shared stories, and laughed until the stars came out. It wasn't glamorous. It was real. The kind of date that shows who people are when they let their guard down. Before the night ended, Mel looked at Peg and said, "You know, I think you were right." "About what?" she asked. "If there's a will," he said with a grin, "there's at least a wild ride." Peg chuckled, shaking her head. "You really are learning fast." "Great teacher." She smiled, softly, looking out at the ocean. "Maybe we both are." As the flames flickered and the waves rolled in, it was clear that something had changed between them. What began as a thrill ride turned into a genuine connection, built on laughter, trust, and a shared love for adventure. And fans watching couldn't get enough. The comments poured in. "Peg is iconic. Mel's falling hard. That chemistry is undeniable." Because this wasn't just another reality TV date. It was proof that love doesn't have to be quiet or cautious. Sometimes it roars through the jungle, kicks up dust, and leaves you breathless. Peg and Mel reminded everyone that romance isn't about perfection. It's about finding someone who makes you feel alive. Someone who pushes you, challenges you, and makes you laugh until your sides hurt. So whether it's an ATV in Antigua or a simple walk on the beach, when Peg says, "Put the pedal to the metal," she's not just talking about the ride. She's talking about life, love, and taking chances. And Mel, well, it looks like he's more than ready to keep up. Because when the right person comes along, sometimes the best thing you can do is hit the gas and enjoy the ride. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.